Another one.
So J Dubs asks, greetings. I was looking at becoming a software engineer. Where should I start? So that is a great question. And let's start our timer. So I will answer that question, J Dubs. Um, where should you start? So it depends on what kind of software engineer that you are interested in becoming. So I would say that would probably be the first place to start to find out, okay, um, what where your interests are first, and you can also answer in the chat, and then and then we can have a conversation about it. But I would say start off with like where your interests are, right? So are you interested more on like the back end where it's not as visible what you're working on? So for instance, you might be like creating APIs, you might be writing some backend code to power some type of stuff, or are you interested in like more of the front end or like web development where you can it's more visual, more like it's somewhat creative, but not necessarily like it could be creative, right? But there is but you're more writing the code that is going to be visible to like it could be a website, it could be a mobile application, things that are visible, right? So I would say probably the starting spot is to figure out what exactly um route you want to take, right? You like because they can be different routes. Okay, so the front end, perfect. So I would say if you want to get in the front end, probably the first part you're going to start getting into is in the like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? So my recommendation to you would be to start getting involved in like get a course, right? I personally like to go very low cost to get started, so so I can see if this is something that I'm into, if it's something that I'm going to like, instead of like because a lot of people they'll run out and get a boot camp and then they pay a bunch of money for it, and it's like now it's like I didn't really like it and I spent a bunch of money. So what I would say is try Udemy course, right? You can either get a Udemy plan for like 16 to 20, 30 bucks a month, or you can buy a course while it's on sale for like 10 to 20 bucks a month, right? Start taking that course. And the course that I would personally recommend to you is the what is it called? The full stack web development course by by Dr. Angela Yu. And I'll put the link in the chat, right? I'll put the link for you because I took that course, and I already knew HTML, CSS, but it helped me a lot with JavaScript, helped me a lot with Mongo, helped me a lot with React, with Express, a bunch of stuff. Like it's really comprehensive. It teaches you everything, right? Uh, mm, Let me find the course for you, and I'll put the link in the chat. But like that's the course that I normally recommend to most people to get started. They have you do like a bunch of there it goes right here. The complete 2023 web development bootcamp, and they're probably going to update the name to 2024 in a little bit. But they recycled the course, but it's very relevant. It helped me a lot, and I would say that would be a very good starting point if you go. And she's a very good teacher too, right? Copy link address. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. So I would recommend getting started with that one. Get it on discount right now on my browser. It currently says it's 18.99, so that's a great price. And I'll just read through some of the stuff that you'd be going through. I'm gonna read through the section titles, right? And it's a pretty long course, right? So for like 20 bucks, it is let's say 62 hours of on-demand video, seven coding exercise, 66 articles. So total like it is very comprehensive stuff that you can learn. So the next thing though, after you go through this course, you're going to want to like find real things you can apply it to, right? So think like so what like what I normally do while I'm going through these courses, I'm also thinking about okay, what can I build? Because I don't like to follow this stuff like word for word to for less of a better thing to say. But like I like to like think, okay, how can I apply this to something that I want to work on so it can stick a little bit more, right? So high level, some of the things it covers, right? So it talks about front end web development. That's the like getting you introduced to the course, introduction to HTML, intermediate HTML, multi-page websites, so like how to link them together, introduction to CSS, CSS properties, intermediate CSS, advanced CSS, something called Flexbox where you can like widen the boxes and shorten them and stuff like that. Something with the grid. Um, so then it talks about Bootstrap CSS, which is very useful. It has you create a project for a personal site. Then it gets you into JavaScript, ES6, intermediate JavaScript, the document object model, creating a game. Like so many different things. Because like when I did it, they had me create like a Simon Says game, where it was like a memory game, which would be really cool for kids. I was like, oh man, I can like start creating games, but I'm not. My mind isn't as creative, right? But yeah, you can create games. So many different things, right? Working with Node, it teaches you GitHub and Git and version control, creating APIs. So many different things. Like it's really really cool, right? So I definitely say definitely get started with that. And then it even talks. So I haven't like so they added this part after I took the course, but they talk about like Web3 stuff, decentralized apps. And the good thing is with these courses, after like once you buy it, it's yours forever, right? So when they add new things to the course, you can always go back and take those new sections to continue learning. So I definitely have to go back and take this go through this new section as well. But so many things, SQL, Postgres, databases, so many things. Like it's very very comprehensive. So I would definitely recommend that course. And what you can do as well, like as you go through it, right? Because one thing I normally recommend is like, especially when you're doing like these online courses, get a mentor, right? Where you can make sure that you're on the right path. If you have any questions to ask to somebody, that you can ask questions and stuff like that. And you can always stop by over here, like, and let me know your progress. Let me know what's going on. If you have any particular questions, I will do my best to answer that question for you. Even if I don't have the question for you right away, I can always like if you leave me a comment in one of these videos, I'll make sure that I get it, or you can send me an email and we can talk. I just want to make sure that you are getting it, that you're on the right path. So that would be my recommendation on how to actually get started, which is by low barrier to entry. Start taking the course and talk to me. Talk to anyone who else you know who is a software engineer. Because one thing about us, we love to help, right? Like we love to help, and we would, ask us questions. Like anytime somebody asks me a question, I definitely do my best to answer. So, and you ask, how do you find a mentor? Um, One way that I would recommend, which don't tell anybody, this is just between you and me, right? Because this is like my Patreon level information, but I would say find another software engineer, because us in the tech industry, we love to help, right? But the thing is, a lot of people like they don't really reach out. They're kind of reluctant. So I would say that um, one of the strategies that I would say is like go find someone, people on LinkedIn, and tell them that hey, you're looking for a mentor. You're learning software engineering. You're taking this course, and you just want to know, like find a couple of them, like because you don't want to bother the same person all the time. But you say, hey, like go on LinkedIn, find software engineers, credible, who are open to helping, and just ask them. Say, hey, do you mind mentoring me? And you ask them, and there you go. Simple as that. Not too hard. Oh my goodness. Look who we have here. Let me do this. I told him to take the night off, but wait, he took off. He took off. All right, if he comes back, I will definitely get him on. But I had my good friend Andrew creep by on the call, so I was going to try to bring him on, but then he disappeared. So Andrew, if you are listening and you have some time, come back. All right, come back and let's hang out. So yeah, J Dubs. That's how I would do it. Like just find go where the people that you are like that have the same interests as you, right? Go there, and then they will. I'm pretty sure most of them will be willing to help. So you just have to ask, all right? You just have to ask, all right? So and I appreciate you too.
I appreciate you.
All right, I am going to bring up somebody onto the stream. Let's do this. Let me wrap up this question, and then we are going to.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.